I've watched a little bit of My Little Pony. I'm not a total uncultured degenerate. I'll be honest, I just wanted to make a character that had 4 arms. Some of them knew each other beforehand, quite intimately.
Why 4 arms? Why bug? What's going on?
Yeah, so they were actually the very first character that I made for this whole idea. They actually used to be a lot more on the human end of anthropomorphic when they were just like an OC, but I've been wanting to do something a little crazier with them for a while, so I decided to take them in a more alien direction, and they have such a laid-back attitude and they're a lot more chill than the others. I definitely think the engineers training was a lot less formal than the others. They come from a background of being a mechanic, so they already know what they're doing to a certain degree just from the way that they grew up. For most of these characters, their first introduction where they were really like, I'm getting to know you, was probably when they started this job. Some of them knew each other beforehand, quite intimately. I think they get along pretty well with everybody, but the character that they are closest friends with is actually the wizard. They're both very similar as far as like their inclination to kind of just go do whatever. You know, they're both pretty indulgent characters on their own, and so I think when they're put together, they can kind of enable one another. The captain, she is what she sounds like. She's the leader, like officially, of the whole group, and she's good at it. She is doing it for the first time. She's done everything very by the books up until now. Even though this is what she always wanted, I think she's generally struggling, but especially struggling in the new circumstances they're in. This is kind of a journey of figuring out how she can be a good leader without necessarily going by the books.
Do you have any characters to compare her to? I'm getting a little Twilight Sparkle here.
Oh, I haven't really watched My Little Pony. I've watched a little bit of My Little Pony. I'm not a total uncultured degenerate. I think actually the character who was most coming to mind was him from Smiling Friends, which could have subconsciously influenced me making her pink, actually. She's pink because she's a girl. I don't know, there weren't a ton of like clear influences on her character from outside because I had a pretty immediate direction for her mentally. I think she's definitely like subconsciously influenced by a lot of characters I've encountered in other media where they're entering a role of leadership for the first time. Yeah. So that's her.